So today I'm going to break down exactly why Conor McGregor is going to get the next title shot over Islam Makhachev. I did all the research for you guys. I mean, look at all these tabs. So let's jump right into it.
Is Islam in line for the winner of Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje? He says, look, I want that title shot. Is he the guy that's waiting on those two to figure it out?
He's in the discussion. I still want to see Dariush. You know?
So let's just be real, guys. Dana White saying Islam is in the discussion after being on a 10-fight winning streak. We'll get to his 10-fight winning streak in a moment, but bear with me. Dana White should just tweet out that Conor McGregor is getting the next title shot. Let's be real. Like, Islam needs the next title shot. Why are we waiting for Beneil to get injured? I mean, for Beneil to recover from an injury. It makes no sense. Like, we want to see Islam versus Charles Oliveira or Justin Gaethje. It's probably be Charles Oliveira, but that's my opinion. But come on, man. Like, come on, Dana. Like, just tweet it out right now. Just tweet it out.
Beneil is ranked number 3 in the world. I mean, it's unbelievable. He breaks his leg the week of the fucking fight. But what are you gonna do? You know, that's the sport.
You can just tell Dana White was so pissed. Of course, he's gonna be pissed, but you can just tell. When he addresses an injury, he usually is talking about it, like feeling really bad for the fighter. I'm sure he obviously feels bad for Beneil, but he's just pissed at the fact that was such a huge fight for the lightweight division, the future of that division. And Beneil breaks his leg, the wrestling, I think he got caught in the cage the week of the fight.
But yeah, listen, he's in the discussion. I'd still like to see that fight.
So we mentioned the Islam Makhachev's 10-fight winning streak, and a lot of people, the argument for why Islam shouldn't get the title shot, despite his 10-fight winning streak, which is a crazy winning streak, one of the longest in UFC history, especially in the lightweight division. Let's take a look at it right now. So Islam Makhachev, his 10-fight winning streak, a lot of people are saying the fact that even though he's won 10 fights in a row, it hasn't been against top-level competition in the lightweight division. So let's go through this. Chris Wade, no idea what that is. Nick Lentz, no idea. Gleison Tibau is the guy who almost beat Habib, I believe, and he knocked him out. Whatever. All these guys, Arman, he just fought a couple weekends ago, last weekend. And he was arguably Islam's toughest fight. Wasn't ranked. David Ramos, ADCC champion. Drew Dober, I thought he was ranked at least when he fought him. I double checked before this video. Wasn't even ranked. Thiago Moises, ranked number 14th. Dan Hooker, he was ranked number 6, but he took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. Something around 2 weeks' notice. Might have been a little more, but still not a significant camp to prepare for Islam Makhachev. Definitely not. And then, of course, we got the OG Bobby Green, 10 days notice. Got to give him credit where he deserves it. But yeah, realistically, he hasn't beaten a guy that was worthy. He hasn't been a top 5 guy. And to not beat a top 5 guy and get a title shot is pretty crazy. But with the way that division's playing out, it would make sense for him to get the next title shot. But Dana saying he needs to fight Beneil and beat Beneil, that of course is a legit fight that we need to see happen. And the winner of that would have to get the next shot of the title. If that fight happened last weekend like it was supposed to, the winner of it was 100% going to get the next shot at the title. And since Dana White is saying that he wants Islam to fight Beneil, so the time frame for that is interesting because Beneil, he had a broken fibula, I believe. And I Googled the time frame to heal a broken fibula. It is 6 weeks to 3 months. And that's just before you're able to return to your normal routine. So that's not even talking about Beneil going back to training, getting back into shape, sparring, training, rolling, getting back into a mixed martial arts, routine. Not even just like his regular day-to-day life, like normal human being, non-MMA fighter routine. If that was the case, then that would take a Beneil, just the 3 months alone, not even considering the MMA training part, it would take us to June. So, and then we got the Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira fight in May. Okay, so follow me. So let's pretend the winner of this, let's say whoever wins, Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje, let's say the winner is a dominant second-round victory, similar exactly the way Charles Oliveira beat Dustin Poirier in their fight. He beat him. He got knocked down once. It was a pretty dominant victory nonetheless, despite that knockdown. So the medical suspension from UFC 269 after that was Charles Oliveira got suspended until January 11th. It wasn't supposed to have contact until January 2nd unless you were approved by a doctor. So that was a medical suspension of approximately about a month because, of course, Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier happened on December 11th. And considering, let's say, the winner, even if it's a dominant victory, they come out injury-free, they get medically suspended for a month, that would take us to the month of July. And guess who's ready to fight in July?
Makhachev is fighting tomorrow night. The title fight's coming up. Islam Makhachev? Yeah. The title fight is obviously coming up, Gaethje versus Oliveira. A lot of people are saying,
Is it though? It's not announced. You don't know. Is it?
I don't know, maybe.
I've heard, but I don't know. You wouldn't know. Maybe if your man's wise, he might give it another month or two. July seems okay for me. I can't say too early. But July, if I'm sparring April, May, June, July, I can get in a slap the head on most of these guys at the end of April.
So just for context, I didn't show the video, but Conor McGregor, he said earlier on in this interview that he was going to be back to sparring in April.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, spar could be a fight.
So you think you can come straight back in right into a title fight before even there's another title fight?
It's about time this game starts giving me respect from my different styles of fighting. My shots downward, my shots upward. You know what I mean? No matter what's going on with the leg, I'd skew into upper guard. There's an 11% chance this bone doesn't heal. It's past that.
Okay, Conor McGregor is just talking nonsense at this point, but basically he's saying he's ready for July. After the months of sparring and getting used to the MMA training, like I said, he's going to be ready for July. And that works out perfectly. So if, let's say, the winner of Oliveira, Gaethje, they get suspended for a month, they need a month camp, that takes us right to July, and this guy will be ready for July. And that's kind of a reason why I think that this fight is going to happen. That's one of the reasons that the timelines actually work out. And here's actually a clip of Dana White getting asked that exact question about Conor McGregor getting the next title shot when he's ready to come back.
Could he walk into a title shot? I mean, I know he's such a unique individual that it kind of doesn't matter if he's winning or losing. People want to watch him fight. Could you justify giving him a title shot?
Well, it's going to depend on who the champion is. The champion has some say in that too. You know what I mean? Who's going to be the champ when Conor McGregor comes back? And what do they want to do? I mean, if you look at Oliveira, right? If it's still Oliveira by the time he comes back, maybe Oliveira wants Conor. Who knows? Okay,
so there's already a history of Charles Oliveira wanting the Conor McGregor fight, and Conor McGregor even hinting at that fight. So actually today he tweeted out, this is funny, really pumped for my next title fight. And someone actually pointed out 0 wins at 155 since 2016. And just to look at his record, just to kind of laugh, is the fact that he literally doesn't have a win at 155 pounds since Eddie Alvarez. And that was way back in 2016. We're at 2022. So just for Conor McGregor to get a title shot coming off of years off, or coming off of years in inactivity and not having to win in that division for many years, it's pretty crazy, but it wouldn't be surprising. No, it wouldn't be surprising whatsoever. So Brad Okamoto even tweeted, it's been more than 5 years since Conor McGregor won a fight at 155 pounds. Stop this. And that's because, Dana White, the Mac Life, that's kind of a clickbait title, but he's not opposed to the Conor McGregor title shot. It's not opposing, because Dana White's not stupid. He knows that fight, Conor McGregor as a UFC champion, generates the most money for the UFC as a business, and the UFC wants to make the most money. That's the number one priority at the end of the day. They don't care about what's right, who should get the next title shot. Like, they know that the guy that makes the most money is Conor McGregor, and if there's a possibility that you can kind of sell him getting the next title shot, they're always going to go for it. And the fact that Charles Oliveira, they have a history of, tweeting at each other. So what date am I fighting Charles Oliveira? This is, I believe, after the Dustin Poirier fight, I'm guessing. And this was actually right after Oliveira becoming the champion. And, congrats Oliveira becoming the 11th UFC lightweight champion. Wonder who the 12th is. And then we got, what day am I fighting Oliveira? And Conor McGregor also tweeted out a picture of him with the belt on. And Oliveira even calling him out, saying about this weekend. These guys clearly have a history with each other, and it wouldn't be surprising if that fight actually happened, because he loses a lot of money after he gets paid. He tweeted out explaining exactly how much money he loses. So listen to this. We don't actually get $50,000. We end up with 15 or 20. I'm guessing that's after a submission or a performance of the night bonus. Not to mention that I live in Brazil, so I need to transfer my fight earnings from the US to Brazil and exchange the currency, which means paying more fees, obviously. Then I need to pay trainer supplements. Complicated. People think that I'm rich, but I'm not. I will still become rich, get a share of the pay-per-view. I am now a level where I can make serious money. Things will start getting better, even more so than they already are. Oliveira continued that 30% of each 50,000 bonus he receives goes to his team. Then you need to discount another 12 to 50% on U.S. state, on which U.S. state you fought in. There's other deductions. When you see that, then you get less than guys who didn't do anything. I didn't earn $50,000 bonuses 17 times. I actually earned 12 to $10,000 17 times. So, just talking about I will still become rich, get a share of the pay-per-view, not a level where I can make serious money. That serious money is made by fighting Conor McGregor. And Charles Oliveira, he comes from the favelas in Brazil. He comes from a very poor neighborhood in Brazil. And now that he's making somewhat decent money, he's able to live off of his UFC career, obviously. So much so that he's able to donate back to his Brazilian community. This is him donating food after COVID-19. And, just Charles Oliveira being a legit role model that kids should look up to. And, fighting Conor McGregor, it's going to sell a shit ton of pay-per-views. We all know that. Conor McGregor sold the most pay-per-views in UFC history. He's done it multiple times. And Charles Oliveira, on top of earning a lot of money from that fight for himself, would also earn a lot of money to donate back to his community, because he truly cares about the community and is very proud of where he comes from. And guys, let's not slip on Dana White being the best promoter in the history of combat sports and sports in general. So we all know Conor McGregor, he generates the most money for the UFC, which is the UFC's number one priority. So it's not surprising that Dana White is pushing this narrative that Islam needs to beat Beneil Dariush because he wants to see that fight. He wants to see that, the high-level guys fight each other because, Islam hasn't beaten the legit guy yet. Then again, Conor McGregor hasn't beaten anyone in the lightweight division since Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez isn't even in the UFC anymore. But regardless, he's going to justify Conor McGregor stepping in for the belt. He could probably even push the narrative of, Conor McGregor's done so much for this company. He earned it by, generating the most interest, the most money. He even can talk about, this is what the fans want. He says that about every fight that doesn't really make sense. It's kind of an escape route, but it does make sense at the end. And also, Conor McGregor fighting the winner of Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira, that fight is way more winnable for Conor McGregor than Islam Makhachev or Beneil Dariush. And also, Conor McGregor just will sell a lot more pay-per-views than Islam Makhachev if he fought for the belt. But regardless of all of that, I really do think that Islam Makhachev is going to be a UFC champion one day. It's just only a matter of time. But the question is, do you think Islam Makhachev can surpass Khabib Nurmagomedov's legacy? Click this video right here and find out for yourself.